Well, good evening, everybody. How are you tonight? We're going to do something a little different on the old mining stream tonight, and that's not mine. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. How are you? Nice to see you there. Yeah, I thought we would do something that we don't normally do. With 3.17, maybe dropping, hard to say, hopefully sometime this week, I thought we would maybe go on a little trading run tonight. I don't do those very often, but not really wanting to put a whole lot of jobs in the hopper right now. So I thought we would just kind of cruise around and do a little trading. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. So I have the M2 Hercules. This is the ship that I have for trading. Not quite the C2, but still a 552, a 522 SCU, so very respectable. And I thought we would start by just kind of maybe hitting here around, let's try R-Corp mining area 61. Hey, Chris, how are you this evening? Chris says, hey, sup, my peeps. Chris, I thought we'd do something a little different tonight. I thought we'd do a little trading. So I don't do that very often, or ever. So I thought it might be fun to do something a little bit different tonight, and we'll go ahead and get started. So yeah, I thought we would kind of cruise over here to R-Corp mining area 61 and see what they have to offer for minerals. I think that there's a couple of different places where we want to hit. I think 61 and I think 45 or something here. But we're just going to kind of monkey around a little bit and see if we can have a little fun. So with that being said, we'll just kind of cruise on over here. So yeah, kind of a snowy night in northern Michigan, and I was really hoping that they would drop a 3.17 patch tonight. I didn't see that happen, so I thought, what the heck, why don't we just kind of do something a little different? And yeah, it is good to mix it up once in a while. I agree with that, Chris, 100%. So I don't do a whole lot of trading, so we'll have to see how this goes. It might go great, it might not, but we'll have a little fun doing it nonetheless. Macedon, how you doing this evening? Nice to see you. Hi. How are you, sir? So, yeah. There's our destination right down there. And we're going to kind of learn how to drop this big boy in here. I don't fly this big guy out here to a lot of these outposts, so this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to enjoy it. So, we'll drop the gear and kind of get ready. Ratherby, hello, I was playing today and I kept getting 30Ks UG, so I stopped. Yeah, Ratherby, I kind of, certainly we'll have to see how the 30Ks go tonight, for sure. I definitely am hoping that I don't have a whole lot of that, but we'll see. Wow, look how beautiful that is, you guys. But, like I said, we normally mine, and I thought tonight I would do a little trading and see how that went, and a little different. Holy mackerel, we smacked down pretty hard there. Not the most graceful landing to begin with, and let's just kind of see if she settles down. It looks like she's gonna, and we're off to the races. So hopefully we'll do a little better than that. That is funny. I don't fly the old M2. Like, I fly into a lot of hangars, but I don't fly to these outposts very often. So this is actually a really good thing to spend some time doing, for sure. And yeah, I definitely Ratherby. I hope that it is a little more stable, than some others have been saying it's going to be. So we'll go ahead and see if we can't get in here and find something to put on board for sale. So, I hit lower deck, not exit ship. All right, we'll get out of here and go see what we can find. So yeah, like I said, I was really hoping that they would have dropped a patch tonight, but it just didn't happen. No big deal. I definitely, I like trading. It's one of those things where, I don't get to do a ton of it, but I do find it enjoyable. Oh, my stars in heaven. Oh, there's a trade. I was going to say, one of these has got to be a trading outpost. I think. I think this is our guy. Kojak, how you doing tonight, Kojak? Nice to see you. How you been? And so here we go. We're going to take a look here. Mastodon says, I tried trading, but it works. It works in my humble opinion, but there's better options. I can see if you're new, though, it's great. Earn money, learn, fly. Yes, absolutely. I think that that's really one of the nice things about it, isn't it, Mass? Is being able to is to be able to kind of learn that type of thing. So we're going to, oh, look at here. We have astatine at 7.4. I was really thinking that there was going to be something different here besides that. That's not what I was expecting. So let's go fly off into... I thought this was a spot where there was going to be some other, like, titanium and stuff. So, you know, we're going to do some learning as we go tonight, for sure. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning visuals, though. Absolutely love it. Yeah, cool. And I certainly know the whole Bezdek Lathan route. I was over in the Walla area, so I thought I'd stop in here and take a peek. And I thought 61 was one of those spots, but maybe not. What on earth? Did you guys see that? It teleported me way far away. Come back here. That's hilarious, you guys. Oh my stars. It just, like, the elevator came down, I got on it, and then it teleported me, like, way over there. So we'll go ahead and try this again. That was awesome. Alright, we'll try this again. See how it goes. Alright, we'll hit the top deck. And up we'll go. Hopefully. And, you know, Chris, you're absolutely... Chris is saying it would be really nice to have monitors on the dash showing, like, 4 angles of view on the dash for docking and landing. I really do agree. I wish there was kind of like a landing mode where it definitely was kind of a multi-screen type looking thing, where maybe you had a top down, a side view, you know what I mean? I'm sure there's probably something they could come up with that would be cool, you know, in order to do stuff like that. So, interesting thing. Oh boy, let's just kind of... All right, we're going to fire up the engine, so up we go. Pull up the gear. We're going to get a little, we're definitely going to get ourselves a little altitude here.
Landing gear up.
Pull up the gear and fly around a little bit. Definitely looking for some kind of an OM, or maybe have to clear the route here. There's our old friend Lyria right there. This is probably what I'm looking for right here. Yeah. So we'll take a look back down here at Walla and take a look here. Sure seemed like there was a couple of spots there. There's 56. I think 56 is one of them. Now let's fly down there. It's going to probably be on the dark side, but that'll be all right. We'll take a look.
Travel engaged.
So not our traditional mining stream tonight. Just thought I'd just kind of fly around a little bit and hang out and do a little trading. So we'll enjoy it as nonetheless. Break it up a little bit for sure.
Quantum travel complete.
Yeah. Alright, so we'll hit 56 here and see if they got anything for us. And I think the other one is... Well, I think the other one might be 45, if I'm not mistaken. We'll have to come down here and take a look. We're closing in there pretty good speed. Not going crazy or anything. 15 km and closing there. I'm really looking forward to when you don't have to necessarily have your quantum drive spooled up to kind of see where you're see where you're headed there. Looks like we're going to be just fine here, though. I can kind of eyeball it. You're right down in here in between these hills. I really do like flying around in the, obviously, Star Citizen's so beautiful to fly around in. Go ahead and drop the gear. Set the VTOLs. Go to the external view. Straighten it out there. Nice. Not the fastest guy landing this thing. I'm just still kind of getting used to it. Just going to bring her in nice and easy. Well, she stretches out over the whole pad, though. I'll tell you that much. That's crazy. For sure. Let's see how we're doing there. Not too shabby. All right. We'll take it.
Engines off.
It's so funny if you watch somebody like maybe Jag Axton fly this. He just is crazy with these things. He's got a ton of experience, obviously, landing at these outposts. And man, I always I'm so impressed with the way he lands this Caterpillar or, or these C2s and M2s. It's always just crazy to witness. Very, very good at that part of the game. And yeah, me not so much. I'm just kind of learning that part of things. I don't fly the M2 a ton, mostly on my Quantanium runs, as you can imagine. So kind of fun. We'll go in and see if there's any Laranite here to pick up and go from there. All right, we'll head over this way. It's always can be a little dangerous going up and down the stairs. I do know that. But we'll go ahead and we'll take the risk. Definitely a little different gameplay loop tonight. It's kind of fun. Chris says, hey, if you like the content, consider hitting the like and sub. Notification bell. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. Yeah, this is more our speed here. We were looking to kind of pick up some of this stuff. Oh, hey. Ooh, 10 SCU. Don't break the bank. Oh, that's funny. Cool. I think we'll pick up some tungsten as well. Oh, yeah, there's 513 SCU. Okay, so that would be... Alright, that's kind of interesting. What about diamond? What would be better here? Let's check out diamond and see what we can get. Ooh, we can get 100 units of that. Yeah, let's purchase some diamond. Let's do it. Awesome. And we'll fly to that one other place and see if there's a little bit... We got a little more wiggle room for some more Laranite. Hey, Dragon Master, good evening. How are you, sir? We, as you guys know, we normally mine almost every single time we stream, 99.9% of the time. Tonight I thought we'd do something a little different, and we would do a little bit of trading. So we've definitely picked up a nice load of, not as much Laranite as we'd hoped, certainly there. But very nice load of diamond. And so we'll just kind of grab that and what the heck. There it is. For the elevator running around here like crazy. So 61, I think we want to hit 46 as well. And then, yeah, same kind of gig. It actually tried to do a little bit of teleporting almost. But, you know, no big deal. Dragon Master, how you been? That's cool. So, all right. So we'll come up here and get these engines spun up and get a little air and.
Engines on.
Up we go.
Landing gear up.
Yeah, that door doesn't open, Chris. You're right about that. Chris saying, hey, the door doesn't open. Yeah, that door's a little funny. I agree with that. It is not exactly what we're looking for there. All right, we'll hit this OM marker 1 and come back down. I think we're going to look at, I think it's 46 is the other one we want to hit. Something along those lines. So we'll come down here and take a look. Alright, there's a salvage place. 48, I think that's the right place. Let me just double check that there's not a 46. Oh, there's a 45 as well. It's one of those two. Dragon Master says, relaxing after work. I'm still debating between the C2 and the M2. What would you recommend? I usually solo play, and I'm waiting for salvage to kick in. You know, it's a great question, and I had a huge debate with myself, Dragon Master, between the C2 and the M2. And I mean, what it boiled down to for me, and the reason that I went with the M2, is I felt like the M2, and here I'll even, you know, walk and show you real quick. The M2 I felt was a little better kitted for ROC mining operations. So if I wanted to do like large, like a organization ROC mining operations, I felt like this was a little bit better suited for that, and primarily because of these couple of reasons here. Number one, there would be jump seats for the ROC mining team. Instead of the C2 is a little more, you know, has like a couch and a TV in this area. But the main reason I thought that this was a little bit better fit for me was the fact that you have the suit, like you can have 3 Navikov, you know, and 3 Pembroke. Actually, it looks like there's more. You know, there's a lot of these environmental suits, so maybe 4 Navikov and 4 Pembrokes, and then of course you have your armory as well. So, you know, you really do have like kind of like the environmental suit storage. And you have the jump seats, which I really did like. Now, one of the big differences is the M2 is a little more up armored, but it has less cargo capacity. So this thing only has 522 SEU, and when I say only, that's still a fairly significant amount. But the C2 has, of course, the 696 or 699, whatever it is. So if you're going to do pure trading, there's no question that the C2 is the better option. If you're going to do some things outside of just pure trading, then I think that I like the M2. And of course the A2 is fantastic as well. But if I made the choice for the M2, that's the one I decided to go with. And it was primarily based on the fact that, I can't remember if it's 45. We might end up having to fly to a couple of these places if I'm not. I know it's is it 45 or 48 that has the Laranite and Tyranite? I'm going to go to 45, I think. I think it is 45, but I could be wrong, but we'll go take a look at it. But yeah, that's the reason that I chose the M2, was that I felt that it was a little more versatile. Same amount of kind of like floor space, if you will, or down on the bottom deck. You know, you can load lots and lots of ROCs into it. But I felt like with the jump seats and with the environmental suit storage, it was a little better fit for kind of the mining more role, you know, and of course I felt like it still had plenty of cargo space for trading as well. So, yeah, I hope that helps. Definitely a debate that is a reasonable one to have with yourself. and you know, I definitely debated with myself for quite a long time, like a good 2 weeks or so before I decided to go with the M2. Great question. I actually have been thinking about a lot about, of course, the little bit of mining apps and like kind of, you know, I've never used a Nomad for hauling the ROC around. I think I'm going to give that a try just to kind of see how the ROC necessarily, you know, see how it kind of deals with the back lift deck or whatever on the. So I'm really excited about that. You know, we're definitely going to be doing some things on the stream that we don't normally do. All right, so we're going to go ahead and see if we can see here what's happening. I'll drop the gear. Let me pop the lights on maybe. We're still about 8,000 out.
Landing gear down.
Yeah, Dragon Master says it makes sense. I like the armor racks. Yeah, would be useful for solo play too if you felt like it. Thank you. Looking forward to those. Will be usable. Yeah, you know, I don't think you can go wrong with either choice. I truly mean that. But I do think that you know, definitely for myself, I felt like the M2 was a little better fit. All right, there it is over there. We'll kind of make our way over there. Kind of slow boating a little bit. Sandy Claus says, "You're not in Freelancer Max for shame." No. Sandy, I thought I would do a little trading tonight, actually. So. That's funny, Sandy. I definitely am in the M2 Hercules tonight, and just seeing if I can find a few things to to trade. You know, with 317 about to drop, it's just one of those things where I felt like, you know, I don't know how many jobs I want to have in the refiner type of thing. I really do feel like. You know, it could happen this week. Of course, there are a lot of. It may not too. There's definitely a lot of things that seem to need a little bit of love, but you know, we'll. So right now I'm on Walla, just looking around. Did I drop the gear? I did. Kind of. Hey. Oh, I thought I had a good landing there. Let's see what's going to happen. No? There, she stabilized out. Yeah, I'm still kind of getting used to landing this guy for sure. It's a little bit different. You know, it's so weird because normally you want to drop on the back skids and then let the front go down. But with this particular one, you really want to stick the front skids first if you can. So yeah, I'm going on some Laranite runs a little bit. You know, that's the goal anyways. Excellent point. Oh yeah, we'll grab a little bit of this while we're here.
Engines off.
So yeah, I figured I'd do a Laranite run or two tonight and just kind of hang out and chit chat. And I think after this we'll head over to Bezdek and Lathan and see if we can find, you know, get any Laranite there. And so we're doing an Art Corp run here first and on Walla. And then I figured we would, you know, we'll go sell this, and then we'll, you know, kind of go over to Loreville a little bit and do a Laranite run over that way too. So this is 45 I'm at now. Sandy's asking, am I at 45 or 56? I already hit 56. I got a little bit of Laranite, 10, you know. I grabbed quite a bit of diamond, though, while I was there. So, you know, we'll have to see how much Laranite's available here. There was only 10 SCU available at 56, so, you know. One of those things, you know. That's why we don't do a lot of trading on this channel. It's tough to come by some of those commodities. Nonetheless, though, you know, some immediate benefits might be funner than, say, you know, kind of waiting around for the refining jobs or potentially losing them. Oh, I want to do the buy here. So used to selling. All right, there's some Laranite. What do we got here? Hey, there's 113 SEU Laranite. That's not too shabby. I'll take that any day of the week. So that's cool. And what do we? I think we have some. Oh yeah, I'm full. I'm full up. Nice. All right, well, let's go sell this stuff. So Dragon Master says, oh yeah, I believe Santa Claus says, I believe Lyria has a Grissium. Oh, I'll have to remember that next time. Dragon Master says, do you think they'll introduce new resources, mineable gas? Yeah, I do think that there will be new resources. I think with some of the systems there will be, especially gases. I would be surprised if there's not that. But I think that they're going to have some different kinds of resources for sure in the future, Dragon Master, and and some of them that are going to be specific to certain systems. I really do believe that. So I don't know if there's any lore for that particular thing, but I do believe that's going to happen. Colton Hill says, what SSD do you recommend? I'm playing on an HDD right now. You know what, Colton? I don't think there's anything wrong with like a Sony 980 Evo. You know, like there's the 970 Evo or the 980 Evo Pro. I don't necessarily know that you need the Pro, but certainly one of the 970s or one of the 980s, nothing, those are fine. Really, really, really good drives. I would absolutely recommend one of those any day of the week. And then Santa Claus says, yep, I usually have to hit up both Wallace and then hit up Hurston. Yeah, so it's a good point. I mean, I think I'll head towards Hurston now, and we'll go sell this stuff. So up we go. Gotta drop this guy in here. Nice. I love the beauty of this game.
Gear up.
Yeah, let's see here. Oh, she's obstructed a little bit. We'll get a little bit more altitude, and that won't take long. Yeah, so Colton says, I was looking at the 970, so thank you. Yeah, there's 970 is fine. So I'm full this time, so I'm going to go over to Lorville and sell, and then I'm going to hit up Bezdek and Lathan too. We'll go right after. We'll go. So that's our goal. I'm going to go sell this stuff here that I have, and we will then go hit Bezdek and Lathan after that, and see how we do. So fun. Yeah, the 970 is a great drive. It's a fine drive for sure, Colton. I think you'll be happy with it. And Dragon Master, speaking to those resources, I would expect that there's definitely going to be some cave minables, some hand minables like ROC minables that are going to be unique. I would imagine that there's going to be definitely some gases that are harvestable. They've spoken about that as much, so I would absolutely imagine that there's going to be some unique resources specific to systems. That's going to be so much fun, you guys, when they have that kind of thing. Like I hope when they do introduce pyro that maybe there is some kind of hopium or something. Maybe maybe it's hopium that I'm dreaming now, but I do hope that they do introduce some kind of something different over that way, So we got a pretty good load of diamond and a pretty good load of laranite. I think we got about 130 SEU of laranite and some diamond. We're going to bring this back to Hurston and we're going to sell this. Diamond trade's pretty good. I got a pretty solid load of diamond on board, so we'll have to see how it goes. But now here's the one thing I'm going to tell you guys, which you're going to laugh about. I have never landed the M2 at Hurston before. I mean, I normally, I think I've been kind of one of those big advocates of just kind of flying to like flying to like the orbital station, like Everest Harbor, and then taking a skiff down. So, we're going to have some fun. Hopefully I won't crash this thing, but if I do, we'll have a lot of laughs, and, I will have lost a few 100,000 AUEC. I don't think it'll happen, but, you never do know. Colton Hill says, I just started playing this game about 2 weeks ago and made the mistake of getting the Mustang Alpha for the starter pack. So I upgraded today to the Titan, the Avenger Titan. Overall, the game is amazing. Colton, that's a very good upgrade. And, obviously the Mustangs, got... You're very hamstrung into just that one specific kind of meta, right? Combat stuff. So I think you'll find that the Titan, the Avenger is just a much more versatile, well-rounded ship. I think you're probably already finding that now, and I have a feeling you're really going to like your choice. That's a solid. That's a great, a solid starter ship, and I think you'd notice a noticeable difference between that and the Mustang Alpha for sure. All right. Here's Lorville over this way. Sandy says, LOL, I'd never been to New Babbage until a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I mean, I go to Lorville plenty, but I just don't land the M2 there, so this is going to be... I might have to butter the sides to get this thing in right. We'll see. We'll try and keep... We'll try and not necessarily mess it up too bad. So, Dragon Master says, with highly limited resources in some systems, it would be interesting emergent gameplay of people defending. Dragon Master, I completely agree with that. Hurler with bigger ships landing at Leo stations and getting the shuttle makes sense. Welcome to the channel, Hurl. I'm not a name I recognize. I really appreciate you dropping in. And I agree 100%. I love taking the skiff down for a variety of reasons. Even if there isn't any, like, you kind of think of the idea of, like, even a hydrogen burning, like a smaller ship's going to burn so much less fuel getting into, getting into the system there. So this is interesting where I kind of came out here, you guys. Oh, yeah, I'm way on the other side of the... All right, so we'll just have to fly around. No big deal. I will just kind of give you guys some of the picturesque beauty here. Okay. And then cool. Yeah, so Dragon Master, I really hope there are these resource balloons, right, of this really incredible stuff that definitely causes kind of like a jump town kind of, where people kind of get, like you said, kind of really do want to surround that particular resource, and it does create some emergent gameplay. Santa Claus says, I highly recommend slowly upgrading starter pack to the Prospector, or an Akati at least. Yeah, nothing wrong with the Prospector. That's a great ship. Colton says, been loving the game. I can now carry a little cargo. Yes, that's a beautiful thing to be able to have a little more versatility, Colton, for sure. Sandy Claus says, ArtCorp just has everything mining, trading. Yeah, ArtCorp's a great area for sure. And then Colton says, yeah, it really is a beautiful game. Now, obviously, with 317, if we were flying through Hurston here, we'd also have the new clouds, which would be fantastic. So I'll drop the gear here and start kind of heading on in.
Landing gear down.
I'll set the VTOL as well. This is going to be interesting. Like I said, this isn't a landing I've ever done before in this big old ship, so we're going to try and do our best.
Thank you, and please visit again.
We've only got a full cargo hold full of cargo stuff, so why not, why not give it a try? Alrighty. Really looking forward to that one button click, right?
Please proceed to assigned landing.
Alright, so we've got the gear down, we've got the VTOLs down, we got ourselves a landing pad, I got a good visual on it, and we are going to work our way down that way. One thing I will say is these Hercules handle so good in atmosphere, and they really, really do. So this is going to be interesting, you guys, for sure. Seems like we're going to have to butter the sides to get this thing in here. Hey. She's off the back gear there a little bit. Do I got her on the side over there? No. Hey, not too shabby. I mean, yeah, you know, for a first time, kind of got in there okay. Let's go sell this stuff. So, Dragon Master says landed and took off from Orison the other day in a reclaimer. Holy smokes, that might have burned a few thousand worth of hydrogen. Holy mackerel, that was hilarious. Colton Hill says, when did the update come out and what will it most likely consist of? Well, of course, the update has some fantastic stuff. Now, I hope that the 3.17 update gets dropped this week, but the most important thing for me is that they actually get things right. I know that they have a lot going on. One of the biggest things, hey, Sambo, nice to see you, is that you can now buy you can now go and loot boxes and sell that stuff, you know, to vendors. Now that wasn't something that was in the game before, so that's kind of new and unique. And of course, you know, there's some other cool stuff too, like the Hull A is in the game. There's mining gadgets. There's really a lot of stuff. There's a lot of changes to, say, the hit boxes, in flight mechanics. You know, there's a coffee vendor. That's a controversial coffee vendor. Hey, I like coffee. I mean, we always call the stream Quantanium and coffee. So, yeah. So, hey, yeah, afternoon. Hey, how you doing, man? So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. The most important thing is, I think that I'd like to see him get some things dialed in and get them right. But there's definitely a lot of things that are part of 3.17 that I'm really looking forward to. So cool. Well, this is good, you guys. We've got our first kind of completing our first trade run here. We went to Walla and we found some pretty good laranite and some diamond, and we're gonna go see how we do here. We're gonna go ahead and sell this. So Brianna Joy, she says the coffee looks like mercury. How are you, Brianna? Nice to see you this evening. Not a name I recognize. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, the coffee, it does look. It does look like a mercury. You're right. So, that's funny. And Dragon Master says, have I tested out mining gadgets? Yeah, I have. Actually, one of the previous streams, I actually tested out, the mining gadgets. Cool things about the mining gadgets. Number one, you can attach more than one mining gadget to a node. Number two, with the Bormax, I was able to break a 6,700 mass rock with the Lancet MH1, which is really, kind of unheard of without a stampede and that type of thing. Nino Brawl, welcome to the channel, Nino. Not a name I recognize. How are you doing this evening? Welcome aboard. We're just doing, on Quantanium and Coffee, more often than not, for those of you who are joining, we almost always exclusively Quantanium mine. Tonight we're just doing some trading runs, obviously, with maybe 3.17 dropping this week. I didn't want to get a whole bunch of refining jobs going, so I thought I would just do some trading runs and chat with you guys. So, Dino Brawlcells just picked up the game this last week and been having a lot of fun. Welcome to Star Citizen, Nino. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that you have picked up the game and you're enjoying it. If you have any questions about anything, I'm sure we'd be happy to answer them for you. Well, it's just anytime that people are new to Star Citizen, I like to welcome them for sure. I love the game. I've been playing it now about a year, and let's see, Thanksgiving, November, December, January, February, March, April, about a year and 6 months now. Yeah. So and absolutely have not, so from the moment I started playing a year and 6 months ago, I never put it down. Now I pretty much exclusively mine, but I do like to do other things in the game, trading amongst one of them, and I guess I wouldn't really call this trading as much as it is. Yeah, I guess it is trading. I mean, you purchase goods. It's not. It's kind of a little bit different where you have to kind of invest money into it or whatever. So cool. Pearl says, have you found the reusability of the mining gadgets? That's a great question, Pearl, for sure. I did not spend time getting back out and recollecting the mining gadget. That's something that, like I said, I was actually hoping 3.17 patch would drop tonight. And that was one thing I was going to test, is putting multiple. Now, I know that they've actually added a light to the mining gadget, so you can actually see the mining gadget better when it does break. And I do know that if you happen to place it on maybe not one of the flattest surfaces, like if you place it on a spot where the rock breaks in half, sometimes you will lose it. So I haven't messed with the reusability of them yet as much as I'd like to, but that's definitely coming. Nino Brawl says, is it dropping this week? Excited to see trading of weapons implemented. I'm really excited about that too, Nino. I hope that it comes this week. I wouldn't necessarily, it's hard. It's really hard to say if it will come this week. There certainly are some significant hurdles, but you know what? I'm definitely playing it safe and not necessarily loading up the refinery with a lot of mining jobs. Brianna Joy says, do you think they're going to have the Iron Halo before they push 3.17 to live? It has been buggy mess out there for me. Oh, I think you're going to say, are they going to fix it? Brianna, I have heard that there is a lot of unscannable rocks in the Halo in 3.17. I haven't messed with that part of it yet, but I will tell you that I do know that that's on their radar of things to look at, and I do hope that they get that. Obviously, there have been unscannable rocks for a long period of time. That's actually, I didn't do too bad there, you guys. I made probably 150,000 on that run. 100,000 at least. So that's kind of cool. At least 100,000. So that's awesome. But yeah, I definitely can tell you that the Iron Halo has always kind of had its little bugaboos about scanning rocks. But I've heard that it's, in particular right now is kind of a mess. And the only time that I did any mining on 3.17 so far in the PTU was on Illyria, kind of checking the meta there, and it seemed like it was pretty. I had a really good run. That I actually streamed for 4 hours that day, and I only had 130K. So Nino says, I appreciate you being willing to answer questions. Of course. And one of the things about the community here, specific to the Space Shorts channel, is you'll find there's lots of people who love to answer your questions. Ace Hambone says, hopefully, with the improved optimization in 3.17 and going forward, they can get to 100 plus players on a server. I couldn't agree more, Ace. I really am looking forward to there being some more players on a server. I mean, I think it would be a huge difference to double the player size, and it would make the world feel a little more alive. Tsunami, how you been, Tsunami? Nice to see you. Hi, how is everybody? First time on the stream. Watch all your other coffee videos, sir. Legendary you are, Tsunami. Thank you for that. I don't, just a blue collar miner, sir. Nothing to see here, but I really do appreciate that you stopped by and that you're enjoying it, and that that you speak so highly. That's awesome. Brianna Joyce says it's been mostly unscannable. The rocks flicker with every scan in a weird glitchy way. Brianna, that is a very, if they do drop a new patch in 3.17 tomorrow, I plan on doing some streaming tomorrow, and I will look into that for sure. I do tons and tons. I love Iron Halo mining, as you can imagine, especially if a server's a little hot. You can kind of sneak out there and still get some mining done and have some anonymity. So yeah, it is going to be important that they do chase some of those bugaboos out of the Iron Halo scanning mechanics, and hopefully that they do. And then Brianna Joy says, I generally jump. Tsunami was asking where Brianna jumps, and she says usually to band 4. That makes sense. Band, obviously the different bands having different amounts of rocks. And I have heard the band 4 is it's so funny. Like, I just jumped to the Halo, of course, and if you overlapped or did a little bit this or a little bit that. Like, I never quite understood the way the bands work till recently, so it's kind of cool in that regard. Tsunami says, I don't know why it bans. How do you figure that out? Oh, there is a Tsunami. If you Google it, there's somebody there's some an image or two out there that talks about how the bands are, and you can kind of look at it will also, there's some jump points that kind of tell you. Where to jump to get into the different bands. So that's one way to do that for sure. Dragon Master says, as someone that I see usually mining in a prospector, are you thinking of getting the capital mining chip at some point? Absolutely, Dragon Master. I'm 100% going to have the Orion when it becomes available. That's a for sure thing. Nino Brawl says, I got killed by someone during a delivery mission. And I was so impressed because I couldn't even find where they were shooting me from. Oh, yeah. Well, and one of the things I will tell you, Nino, that happens occasionally, and I'm not saying it was in this case, is sometimes somebody's just glitched out where you can't see them at all. You know, hey, there's the M50. That's a great ship. I love that thing. So, you know, you never do know. Obviously, they very well could have been a very skilled type of thing or a very just, you know, oh, I'm going to store and pull this thing back out again. Store it. And retrieve it. And, yeah, that very well could have been that maybe they just were kind of, you know, they were just kind of hidden from you. Nina Brawl says, Brianna Joyce says, Mike L1 to HURL4, drop out about 7.5. From HURL4. Yeah, that is you know, a great way to do it right there. And so yeah, for those of you who, you know, are interested in kind of doing the Air and Halo stuff, you know, there's lots of resources online about where to take off from and where to drop out of Quantum at in order to get in there. And I will tell you that it's a good thing to follow those guides for sure, or you do spend a lot of time kind of starting and stopping. So Ace Hambone says, you can get in that M50. I never knew you could get into that M50. Can you fire it up? Colton Hill says, I went to Astro Armada so bad. Haha. Cool. Yeah, Astro Armada's got some ships, though, that other places don't. Nino says, were you in your ship or in a bunker? That's a great question. Tsunami says, it's worth getting the mole over the Prospector. I make about 1.2 to 1.5 mil for full Connie Taurus run. You know, both ships definitely have their place. There's nothing funner than a mole when you have a competent mining crew on board. You know, that's a lot of fun. It's easy going. You can make lots of money. Everybody can kind of have it's one of those times you can really kind of just sit back, drink a beer, do a little mining, have a little fun. Absolutely love it. So, Colton says, that's why we have you. Nino says, in my ship, Dragon, in space outside Micro Center. Micro Center versus Micro Tech. Yeah, Micro Center's both places are, have their advantages, for sure. That's so funny, though. Brianna Joyce says, Cornerstone Space has an excellent mapping of the Air and Halo. Yes, Cornerstone is a very, very good site, you guys. I don't know if you use Cornerstone or not. You should. They really do have some very nice tools there. Ratherby says, has anyone used the Expanse ship? I want to know the time to refine. Is it faster? Ratherby, the Expanse isn't out yet. It's a concept ship. It's not quite in. It's not out there yet. So there is a Q&A coming up though, and the first question in the Q&A is how long does it take to, to refine. So that question should be getting answered. Yeah, Tsunami says, so the mole is crew mining? Yes. The Prospector is a single-seater. The mole actually has a pilot's, has a bridge, but the pilot doesn't have any controllable lasers. But there are 3 lasers that can be controlled by other players. So yeah, it's multi-crew mining, the mole. The Prospector is, of course, the single-seater miner. So Prospector's the solo miner. But you absolutely can solo mine in the mole. It's a touch more tedious, but it's nice because you do have the extra space on board. I usually just solo mine in a Prospector. You do so well in it anyways. But there's nothing wrong. I never begrudge anybody who's more dedicated than I am, and they absolutely take the mole out and do that kind of a thing. So this is one of the beauties here. So we're actually now we're gonna head towards Ariel. We'll set that route now. Well, looks like we're going to have to grab an orbital market first. Or how about that one right there? That would be great. We'll pull the gear up, and you guys, I will do this for you. We can enjoy the beauty together. Off we go. Lifting up from beautiful Lorville. And we'll get a little altitude. We'll hit Everest Harbor, and then we will head towards Ariel, and we'll go to Bezdek and Lathan and see if we can't get ourselves a little bit more of the good stuff to trade. Really do love this M2. It's a great ship. Yeah, being able to sell loot Dragon Master is going to be super cool. I agree with that 100%. I'm really looking forward to that stuff. And I definitely know some of the people in my org are looking forward to that as well, as you can imagine. Tsunami is asking what region I hail from. It's an excellent question. I am in northern Michigan. Excellent question. There you are, Tsunami. And so that's where I'm from. And that's where I currently reside, so.
Quantum travel
All right.
engaged. Quantum travel complete.
We are going to go ahead and head towards Ariel now. He wants to hit OM1 first, and we're going to pivot on that guy. Beautiful. Andy Davies, welcome to the channel. Andy, how you doing tonight? He says, I solo mine in the orange brick, the mole, with good results. You know what? There are lots of... when I first bought the mole myself, too, I solo mined in it. There's nothing wrong with solo mining in the mole. For me, I will just say, honestly, it's a touch tedious. But it's anybody who mines in the mole solo, I have nothing but respect for. It takes good positioning, good patience. You absolutely can split the difference sometimes between a couple rocks and come away with a significant more amount of Quantanium. Sometimes 50 or 60, no problem. It can absolutely make a big difference. So, and we're gonna hit Lathan first, and then we'll hit Bezdek after that, and see if we can't get some good stuff on board here. So we'll go to the Lathan first. Roll the big boy over and spawn him over that way. Tsunami says, very northern accent. I used to live in North Dakota. Yep, it's a real state, believe it or not. Yeah, North Dakota is a real state. Yeah, I talk to people from North Dakota from time to time at my work. Never been to North Dakota. I've definitely been out west a couple times. That's kind of more in the central part of the country, I guess. All right, so here we are, Lathan. We're going to kind of roll this guy over. We'll come in on kind of a reasonable clip. I mean, I like to get too crazy, but kind of tussle a little bit. Well, like I said, we'll hit Lathan, we'll hit Bezdek, and we'll definitely pull a little bit of a see if we can get some Laranite on board. Hey, there's the stuff we normally look for, some rocks down that way, which is great. Dragon Master says, found out the other day that they're actually making speakable in-game languages for aliens. Interesting, and apparently to get a Banu Merchantman, it may play into that. That boggles the mind. Yeah, they're definitely going to do some... There's definitely going to be some alien, type stuff heading for sure. Tsunami says, it's okay, lots of skeeters. Now I'm in Fort Hood, Texas. Yeah, I would love to... Tsunami, head down to Texas that way. Obviously, northern Michigan, a lot of good hunting. I enjoy hunting, and one of the things I really wouldn't mind hunting one of these times is some wild boar. Or I know that you guys got kind of a few wild pigs down there. It would be a lot of fun, I think. And I love pork. I have heard some people say that the wild stuff tastes a little different than the other stuff, and so that's interesting. All right, cool. All right, we're just going to kind of come on in here and take a look. Rinsler says, have you tried Helix mining head lately? Wondering if it can crack bigger rocks. The Helix certainly can crack bigger rocks, Rinsler, for sure. Depending on if you want to mine Quantanium, I think that the Lancet still is a little bit sounder choice. With the negative 75% instability and resistance, it just kind of settles the rock down in a way that the Helix won't be able to. But there's nothing wrong with the Helix. It's just, and the one thing about mining is absolutely people can, whatever they're comfortable with type of thing, they should use. A. Sambone says the M2 has great atmospheric maneuverability. It really does. I agree with that 100%. Do I have the gear down? I don't. I better set it down. There we go. Not a bad landing. Not terrible. Terrible, anyways. We'll go ahead and... yeah, especially for its size. You know, like the C2, the M2, and the A2, they really do fly good in atmosphere for the size of ship they are. I agree with that 100%. Tsunami says, haven't had the opportunity to hunt hog yet. Yeah, it's just one of those things. I wouldn't mind doing one of these times. I mean, I'm not... I don't do a ton of that. You know, a ton of... when my dad was younger, I used to do a lot more whitetail hunting with my dad. But I would really, like I said, I love barbecuing pork. So it does make me wonder if, if it's like, you guys got a good supply of it down there. So that makes me... so Dragon Master says there's already the Xi'an language classes into classes you can learn to speak it on the Star Citizen YouTube channel. That's crazy. I didn't actually had no idea about that people were actually teaching Xi'an. Yeah, that's fantastic. Which way do I go, George? Let's take a look here. Oh, I see the thing over here. Cool. Awesome. It might be over there. I don't think that one's... Yeah, we'll look in here. We'll look in here. I may be wrong. It may not be this one. Oh, this is that. Why didn't I notice that? That's so funny, you guys. Oh, they're sitting right there, the little pads. I should have absolutely noticed that. That's silly of me. So, yeah, we'll run this way. I don't get to run on the planet surface very often. This is great. Obviously, I spend so much time in my prospector. I don't get to do this. There's the orange, the orange symbol. I should have picked that up right away. No big deal, though. We don't do this stuff very often, so you know better, you do better. Tsunami says, back on mining after I started watching your lyrics, your Lyria videos. I realized you break the Lyria rocks easy. I find myself struggling to break anyone bigger than 5,000 mass. Tips? So... consistency, I think, is, you can break up to a 5,900 with Lancet. Anything over 5,500 will take a little while. That's just kind of the way it goes. Outside of that, just kind of, really just kind of pouring the energy into the rock at 100%. That's really it. All right, so we're going to try and buy some Laranite here. 53 SCU, we'll purchase that. Got it. We'll take that 53 SCU, and I won't pick up... How much titanium do they have here? Ooh, 470. I guess I don't want to do that yet. We'll pick up titanium at the other... at Bezdek if they don't have any, any more Laranite. So beautiful, you guys. Even this kind of alien rocky orange. Whatever. So yeah, I don't really have any other tips than that. It really is just kind of, putting the laser intensity. You should be able to break anything that's 5,500 and down pretty okay. But it's going to be slow. It's going to be slower for sure than smaller than that. But I've broken up to a 5924 natively with one of those things. Brianna Joy says, I find the gyro helps. You can kind of wiggle your laser around. Yeah, that's a good point too. Agitating. That's kind of what I refer to as agitating. So if you hit G a couple times, Tsunami, it will loosen up the laser head. Will spin around. And sometimes if you just kind of like work the laser around and agitate on it, that definitely can help kind of excite the rock as well. Tsunami says, excuse the new questions, only been a citizen 2 months now. How do you use 2 brands? Do they have to be in different slots? Absolutely. Like, I normally kit Tsunami. In my first slot, I'll have an FLTRXL, and then my second slot, I'll have a brand, and my third slot, I'll have a brand. That's the kit I always run. And don't, please, ask any of your mining questions. Normally, I'm out mining. I mean, this is the first time I've ever streamed anything except outside of mining, except for it seems like maybe I've done a stream or two doing something else, but This is the first time. We almost always exclusively mine. So great questions, and please, I welcome them. Andy Davis says, you try to move your laser around the rocks to find a weak spot. People do say that, Andy. I don't know if that kind of is a thing, or if you just kind of trick yourself into believing it. It's one of those things, as much mining as I've ever done. I don't know about, like that. I always wonder about that particular one, So it's kind of funny. Hey, what's going on here? All right, we'll raise the gear up. Taking off. Just love the look here. Looks awesome. We'll grab an orbital marker and we'll head down to bed stack. Let's kind of start wrapping around here. Looks like that's what we're looking for right there. That'll be awesome. Sobweb says, hi, bro. How you doing, Sob? Good evening. How you been? Welcome aboard. Welcome to the channel.
Quantum travel engaged.
So Colton Hill says, how often do you stream and post? Also here from upstate New York. We were supposed to get... there's... it's funny, Colton. We can't seem to shake winter, I mean, I definitely agree with that. We had snow today here in northern Michigan. Tons of it. So what do we have there? There's Bezdek. That's our next destination, and we'll top off with titanium there if they have it. Tsunami says, yeah, I've been I used the agitation before. Just thought you were just bored. No, it does work a little bit. You definitely, the more you move the laser around on the rock, you can find spots that are it will find spots that are a little weaker, or for whatever reason, just make the laser intensity jump at a little better clip. Andreas, good evening, Andreas. Sambo says, what's your ship's name? This particular M2 doesn't have a name. I don't have one of the like, I think you can name I can't remember. I mean, you guys may remember better than me. I know that there's the Carrick, and there's a few other ships, but I don't remember all the ones that you could name. But I don't have one of the ones that you can name. I think it's the Carrick. There's a few others as well that you could put a name on, but I don't have this particular one's not named. Stop. Andreas, how are you this evening? It's good to see you. So we're doing something we don't normally do, Andreas, tonight. We're just doing a little trading, and so to that end, we're just kind of flying around looking. Look at that, you guys. It's always one of those times. Look at all those juicy rocks down there. Anyways, we'll keep it moving. Ace. Oh, the Reclaimer is another one you could. Ooh, that would be a cool one to name. Interesting. Tsunami says, thanks, Brianna. I don't know, I definitely don't know, all the ships you can name. Obviously, the Reclaimer would be a cool one, though. I bet you can really come up with some cool names for that. Alright, so we're kind of closing in here. I'll drop the gear, VTOL. It's going to be right up here. And there's that, there she becomes available. You can see her right down there. Andrea says, I'm shocked. I'm not looking out of the prospector cockpit. Should do the same. I had terrible luck mining today. I think it had to do more with the fact that, I didn't want to get a bunch of jobs, Andreas, in the hopper. And then, just kind of, with, I'd like to believe that 317's coming. I don't know. So, yeah, I thought I would just do kind of some, and obviously, hopefully a patch for 317 drops tomorrow, because then I'll do a little PTU streaming. And we'll do some more testing on the mining gadgets and that kind of a thing. So Colton Hill says, Thick Boy. Yeah, that's a good name for a ship right there. That's awesome. And Dragon Master says, in your best opinion, when do you think the next hard reset will happen? In my best opinion, I think the next hard reset will happen at 3.18 when they do the cargo refactor. Now that is a... Do I have the gear out again? I do. That is a straight guess. you know. But if I had to guess, that's when I would say that it will be, for sure. Cool. All right. Well, we did it. We got it there. I'll top off on some little bit of this, little bit of that. Turn off these engines, and we'll see. Mauricio, how you doing, Mauricio? I'm not mining tonight. I'm trading. How's that? For a little bit of change of pace. That's awesome. Oh, Mauricio says no audio at the gym, but glad to see you. Nice, Mauricio. That's awesome. No problem. Someone on the game said today they lost the 890 jump. Interesting. I wonder what they mean by lost. That's kind of crazy. You know, I guess they just might have to do on a character reset they lost it. I bet you if they put in like something to the devs or to the what do you call it, the customer care, I bet you they'll look and see a record of that and have it. New Age Man is asking, what is the cargo refactor? Excellent question. We'll get to that in just a sec. Brianna Joy says, I hope 3.17 comes out soon. It's a really pretty patch. Call me crazy, but I really like the redesign of the ASOP terminals, all the interactable panels. Like Brianna, I couldn't agree more. I think the ASOP terminals look fantastic. Actually, the Prospector UI looks super clean and a lot of the things look just cool. I agree with that 100%, Brianna. So New Age Man says, what is the cargo refactor? The cargo refactor is when cargo is going to be more physicalized. And it's going to really kind of change a lot about the way the cargo works. So, for instance, if you have external cargo, like for instance, like a Hull A carries the boxes on the outside of the ship, that is going to take less time to load up your ship than, say, an internal cargo ship. Now, I'm doing probably a fairly, not a great job of explaining it, but basically the cargo is going to become physicalized. It's not going to be as much magic poof, like where it just poofs on. There are going to be some timers associated, and they're going to probably use Quanta, which is this back-end simulation to kind of change the way that the commodities work. And so, yeah, some of these external cargo ships are going to be able to load faster than some of the internal cargo ships and that type of thing. All right, so here we're going to try and do some buying. Hey, another 53 SCU. We'll purchase that. That's okay. Don't mind that. And let's go ahead and we'll take a look at titanium as well. And that looks like the rest of what we got. Yeah, we got that loaded up. I think that's us. So cool. Andreas, let's see. Ace Hambo says having level 1 guns on the Expanse. It's likely Honeywell where's the BB gun. Yeah, you're not going to be doing any fighting in the Expanse for sure. That's not that type of vessel. I just kind of seen a red flash. Am I okay? All right. Yeah, I'm good. Oh, hurry. Cool. And then Dragon Master says, I might actually get an Argo Raft for the cargo refactor and learn it. The Raft with that 96 SCU of external cargo could be very, very nice to have when the cargo refactor comes. That's the type of ship that the Raft or the Hull A, these external cargo ships, they're supposed to really make a big difference. And eventually you're supposed to have these NPC crews that load your cargo and stuff. I think that's a ways down the road, obviously. Andrea says, I want a terminal to buy food in bulk, especially with the changes in 3.17. Currently, it's just terrible to stock up on foods. Definitely, they need to make it, and I know that they know that they need to make it as well. They know 100% that they need to make the UI more friendly when it comes to, say, purchasing stackable items and that type of thing. That's going to happen for sure. I don't know if it's going to make it into 3.17, Andreas. I hope it does. Colton Hill says, I just ordered the 970 SSD you recommended. Now would I have to uninstall the game and install? Yes, you will have to uninstall the game and install it on the SSD. Now, you might look around, Colton, and see if there are some files that you can just, like some folders that you can just move over that way and maybe not necessarily download it all. But I think really the right thing to do is just reinstall it clean on the SSD and then, witness the power of much faster seek times. I mean, it's going to be a night and day difference. Your experience is going to be completely Way better on the SSD. Tsunami says, are they making cargo physical barriers because you can just walk through cargo and say the Freelancer? Yeah, I mean, when cargo becomes physicalized, that's some of the things that some of the, like right now, for instance, like I have this cargo, but nobody could say board my ship and take a box of it off, right? But that's going to change. There's going to be a grid on your, and so like if you can actually be pirated, when 3.18 comes along, right? Because you could have a situation where somebody boards your ship and just takes it over and just takes, is able to just use a tractor beam to tractor beam some of your cargo off your ship. I mean, so yeah, that's gonna be a huge change for sure. All right, so we're gonna go back over to Hurston and take this stuff down. Cool. Alrighty. Oh, look at that. Hurston sitting there like a big, beautiful... Right there. That's awesome. I'm loving it. Brandon Joyce says there will probably be a fee to have the NPCs help you load your ship faster. I think you're absolutely right, Brandon. I think there could be definitely a situation where, like there's a slider and maybe you can hire more longshoremen or something, even though it won't necessarily play out that way. But, you can actually have it loaded faster, but it costs you more overhead. I hope that there's a system like that for sure. Dragon Master says being able to auto sort or auto stack items, yeah, those have to be. Dragon Master, that stuff's going to happen. Those things have to be. They're too important. Absolutely too important. Colton Hill says, dude, it's bad right now, LOL. 5-minute wait to get into the server. Wow. It's funny because people have mentioned to me that, that the servers are getting busier. That's for sure. Sandy Claus, welcome back. And so, yeah, we're on our second trading run here tonight. It's going great. I will say, if you guys like mining content or Star Citizen content, please do like and subscribe. It does bring more people to the channel. And most of the time I do Quantanium mining, but, tonight I thought I would shake it up a little bit. Ace Hambone says, I hear on the bigger exterior cargo grids like the Hull C, you can attach a ship to a grid. Oh my gosh. Carrying big ships or ship components or parts of ships, Ace, that's going to be so fantastic. I am really looking forward to that. The hulls, those giant hull ships are going to be huge game changers. Absolutely love that idea. And I hope that's a thing for sure. Sandy Claus says hunger and thirst meters are going to matter more. They absolutely matter more in 317 for sure too. How'd the first layer night run go? I made a little over 100,000 or so. And so we'll have to see what we do on this run. I'm not finding tons and tons of layer night, but it's not bad. It's always good to just do some cargo runs and chat. So, good stuff. A little more of an immediate return than having to wait, as you guys know, with the cargo runs. And probably a good thing to be doing with 3.17 potentially, going to drop at some point. I'm really enjoying myself. This is great, chatting with you guys and just kind of cruising around and doing some cargo runs. This is fun as hell. I gotta be honest. Alrighty, we'll go ahead and get in here close. And Rinsler says, watching your stream, I feel like the lazy supervisor sitting in my office watching someone else do the work. That's awesome, Rinsler. That makes me laugh for sure. Yeah, I love that analogy. We'll go ahead and see if we can't dial up a landing pad. I will drop the gear in the VTOL, and we'll kind of keep heading our way towards...
Landing gear down.
Haven't heard from them yet. Sometimes it takes a moment or two, and we can kind of NCOM here, and we'll go ahead and ask for another one. Colton Hill says, I have looked a while for someone with good Star Citizen content, so I'm definitely subscribing. Keep up the good work, and also, how can we support the channel? You know what, just come and participate. That's it, Colton. Really, I mean, and come ask your questions, come participate. And when there are new people around, help answer their questions, give your opinions. I learn from you guys tons and tons and tons about Star Citizen. And so, this is going to be always a, you know me. Not a lot of salty language here. You know, just kind of a friendly place to kind of come and hang out and chat Star Citizen, and that's just kind of how we're going to do it on this channel. You know, everybody's got their own style, and for the most part, I just enjoy playing Star Citizen so much, mostly mining, but the occasional other big ship stuff as well, industrial stuff for sure. Sandy says, just getting over this cold, lost the voice for a couple of days. Sandy, I hear you. It seems like the colds have been going around for sure for lots of folks. I do have my gear down. I just wanted to double check. And I'm just kind of bringing this guy in nice and easy here. Just want to make sure I'm... Yeah, cool. All right. Well, we're not doing too bad here. And I will take it, you guys.
Engines off.
Now, let's see here. We'll go ahead and throw a repair in this guy. Hey! New Age says, how do you know where to buy low and sell high? Well, there are some excellent, there's SC trade tools. There are some excellent sites that will tell you where to go. I kind of happen to know a couple of really basic trade runs. Oh, what's going on here? Did we 30K? Oh, maybe, I don't know. No, we didn't. We're good. It's just, you know, she's being a touch sluggish. Chris Bates says, plug QuantCalc. Hey, you know, that's a good idea. You know, we do have a $1 app. It's in the description. It's called QuantCalc, and it's an excellent tool for helping you discern how much Quantanium is in a rock. So you plug in a mass, plug in a percentage, and it will tell you very quickly how much SCU of Quantanium is in a rock. And yeah, that's a link in the description. If you just click there, it's sold on the Google Play Store. It's in early release, so we're always looking for any kind of advice and tips and tricks, or, you know, recommendations about how we can improve its functionality. Draconia says, it's getting late here. What ship is that? Drac, I'm not mining tonight, man. I'm trading. So I'm in the M2 Hercules. Good question. Samuel D says, are you in the PTU? How are the servers today? I'm not in the PTU, Samuel. I wanted to be in the PTU, but the PTU, the last time I tried to get in there, I couldn't get out of the hab area. The elevators kind of had me hemmed in. So I am hoping that they drop a new patch tomorrow and I can jump in the PTU. The last I had checked before I started streaming, there wasn't a new PTU patch. So tomorrow I'm going to be definitely, hopefully, doing the PTU and absolutely trying to do some mining gadget stuff again. Not L NC3 says, hey, what is this game about? This is called Star Citizen. This game is about space stuff, you know, like you know, ships and space trading, and it's, you know, it's like kind of a sandbox game where there's, you know, tons and tons and tons of space things to do. So one of them, you know, really, I encourage you to watch a lot of videos about it. It's a great game. I love this game. It's an alpha. It's got a lot of bugaboos, but you know, it's so much fun to play. Super enjoy it. Dragon Master says, are there any in-game events you really like so far? Well, that's an excellent question, Dragon Master. I liked them all. I definitely enjoyed Jumptown. I absolutely enjoyed Xeno Threat. I really think Xeno Threat's fun. And then there's the one where you gotta kind of run the medical supplies. I can't think of the name of it. I think that's super fun as well, especially when you get on servers where they're behaving correctly. You know, if you happen to get on some servers where, oh boy, I just missed that thing. If you happen to get on servers that are, you know, really, really running well, all the events are super fun. Every one of them. Ace Hambone says, when servers increase player count and pirating is a bigger issue, mining without protection is going to be a big gamble. Ace, I can't agree more. That's for sure. Space stuff. I see you, AC Gibby. I see you laughing at me. It's about space stuff. You know, so sorry, I did it. I'm not doing Star Citizen any justice. Ninetales, that's the one, Sandy. Thank you very much. I see you, AC Gibby. I see you laughing at me. You should. I deserve it. Yeah, it's just, you know, there are... Stanton is this awesome system with lots of space stations, outposts that you can fly to. There's space trading, mining, some FPS stuff. You know, it's still kind of getting off the ground, but let's just stick to space stuff. That's what it's. Sandy says Laranite and Agricium sell highest, but not the highest profit margin. Good to know, Sandy. I'll have to look into that. Drax says when the elevators are haunted, they will eat you, not in a good way. Yeah, in 3.17, the elevators can actually, that physical spot where you see them fly by, sometimes they can hit you. Hey, AC Gibby, welcome. AC Gibby says new to the verse and gives a salute. Game has been incredible so far. Glad you're enjoying it. Absolutely love this game. New Age Man says, what has the app? What was the app to determine trade routes? Oh, SC Trade Tools is a good one. There's another one too, like AUEX or something along those lines. If you just Google trade routes for Star Citizen, you'll find there's lots of tools there for sure. SC Trade Tools is a good one. There's a couple of other ones as well, and I don't happen to know all their names off the top of my head. Seems like one of them is called I can't remember it. I'll butcher the name, and I should know it, but I don't. Yeah, AC Gibby. That's one of the things. AC Gibby's making a really good point. As a new person to Star Citizen, really, I think that's what you're gonna find. That's what I found too, right? I've been gaming forever, you guys. I played multi-user domains. I played Elite Dangerous in 1988. Pardon me, Elite, the original wireframe Elite Brabants on the Commodore 64. I played EverQuest, Asheron's Call, Dark Age of Camelot. I played, of course, World of Warcraft. Star Wars Galaxy is my favorite game of all times by a mile. I've played tons and tons and tons of games. And I will tell you that I truly believe Star Citizen community, at least the people that I've had the pleasure of getting to know, have been the coolest group of older guys. Galog and UEX is good too. Thank you, Brianna. That's the ones I was trying to remember for sure. So SE Trade Tools, Galactic Logistics, Galog, and UEX. Those are all excellent trade tools, and I really appreciate you guys bailing me out there. I should know those things, but I don't off the top of my head. I know of them, but I didn't know. So a New Age Man says shouldn't have to go outside the verse to the web to figure that out. Yeah, no problem. That's true. Colton Hill says, where you live, where will you go live when the update comes out? Of course I will. Now, it depends. I mean, SW2OR, Rinzler, I played that game, loved it as well. Especially the first few weeks that was out. I really liked that. I had what is a Sith, Sorcerer. Loved Sith Sorcerer in that game. That was my favorite. For sure. Alright, we're going to sell some Laranite. That's awesome. Yes. And we're going to sell some of this stuff too. Got it? Yeah, I probably made about maybe 75,000 or so that time. Not. Oh yeah. So for sure, Ace Hambone says, not even though the game is buggy, still has a long way to go in development. I agree with that. Geesley, not a name I recognize. Welcome to the channel, sir. Asheron's Call was a great MMO. I loved Asheron's Call. Absolutely loved it. Now I did kind of leave Asheron's Call to play EverQuest, I will admit. But I 100% did. I loved Asheron's Call. Brianna Joy says, it's all good, you're a miner. Thank you for letting me off the hook. I am a miner. Most of the time, you guys, almost every single time you come to my channel, I'll be Quantanium mining, but tonight I just decided to do some trading and chatting with you guys on this level. So that's awesome. Junk Williams says, SC is the only prospect at the moment that gives me a sliver of that SWG field. Junk Williams, you are nailing it. That's exactly right. This is the only game right now that has the potential to get maybe into that sweet spot that SWG was in. I 100% agree with you. This is the and Star Wars Galaxies in the early times was by far my favorite game. I loved that game. Loved everything about it, including Harvester fleets. I was an architect, doctor, Jedi. Just adored that game. We had an awesome community on Naboo. 130 some people in our town. Really just loved that game. There was so many good things. I have so many good memories of that game. Drac Spirit says you don't think about them as much because you always are out. Yeah, you're right. I don't think about SE Trade Tools very often because I am always mining. Drac, you're absolutely right. Santa Claus says New Age Man agreed, but like any profession you master, through experience. Yeah, one of the things I like about this game, you guys, is you don't get like a tick. Like, you don't like do something and it says you don't run and you get running +1, then running +2. In this game, you kind of earn your stripes by just doing it. So it's just one of those things. Sandy Claus says, loved SWG. Couldn't agree more, Sandy. SWG was just, it was the best. It was, in its original inception, it was truly the best. I really enjoyed EverQuest too, Sandy. I agree with that 100%. Tsunami is thanking Brianna for the information, and thank you, Brianna. You've been a wealth of information, and truly, I do appreciate it. One of the things I love about being able to stream with you guys is when some people come to the stream and help out new players, and Brianna, you really are the best. Given the best of that for sure, and truly love that stuff. Regional servers cover the world. Yeah, that's it, right? Ace. Right now there are kind of U.S.-based servers, European-based servers, Australian servers. Oh, that's exactly right, Junk. Before the NGE, I was on the night that the NGE went live, sitting on my trillions of, years worth of collecting all sorts of Dantooine flowers and non-ferrous metals and all the best chemicals and that type of stuff. When all that stuff just turned to dust. When the NGE went live that night, all of my buffs that I would do with my doctor, all that stuff was just, went to the NGE was, it was heart wrenching the night that happened. I was on there the night that NGE went live and never played the game again. Really, I mean, it was our city was a ghost town within a week after that. Bane, Epi, nice to see you, Bane. How you been? Is the Freelancer Max a good ship to start with for hauling? Bane, there's nothing wrong with the Freelancer Max to start with for hauling. The Freelancer Max is a good hauling ship. I mean, it's now, are there some ships that have a little bit bigger cargo holds? You bet. But yes, 100%. The Freelancer Max is a great ship. I love the Freelancer Max. It's also, I will tell you, Bane, is a very, very sneaky good rock hauler too. It's got a big wide back end. You can get those rocks in there easy peasy. And it's a very good, I enjoyed rock mining with it as well. So there's some flexibility there. You don't just have to trade. Although I had the Freelancer Max exclusively for about 4 or 5 months as my only cargo hauler. So yeah, Andreas, agrees with me about the Freelancer Max. Rinsler says Ultima Online was the OG, barring mods. I played one hell of a good mod, Rinsler. It was called Tempest. It was John, I can't think of his name. He actually founded another company. It's a Viking game out now. But Tempest Mod was the name of the mod that I played way back in the day. And I enjoyed multi-user domains for sure. I was definitely that nerd. Drax says ED has the bozo badges, and yes, I'm a triple elite LMO, but elite really only means you done a bunch of it. Yeah, that's exactly right. Elite just means you done a bunch of it, that's for sure. Santa Claus says, best, no, Hercules is but the Freelancer Max is amazing. Yeah, the best pure cargo runner, of course, is going to be the C2 Hercules. But there's nothing wrong with starting with the Freelancer Max. It's a great ship to start with. How did SWG die? It was called the NGE, or the New Game Enhancements, I think that was what it was called. And they just basically ruined the game. I mean, it's actually kind of the stuff of legend. Like, it literally is the biggest mess up of all gaming history, I think, quite honestly. NGE, New Game Enhancements, I think that's what that stood for. It was horrible. Brianna Joyce says Freelancer Max is great value, and it holds around 120 SU. That's a good amount of prospector runs. I agree with that 100%. Brianna's absolutely right. You do get, you can get 4 loads, pretty much. I mean, now not 4 100% munis, but normally 4 loads, and always 3, but sometimes up to 4 loads of your prospector runs can be refined, and you can haul it on the Freelancer, and it's, there's nothing wrong with 4-to-1s. That's a heck of a lot better than the 1-to-1s I started out with the Cutlass Black, that's for sure. Geesley says, I keep my C2 at Hurston for cargo, and my Freelancer Max supports my mining. It'll carry 3 loads of refined ore perfect. Exactly, Geesley is absolutely right. 3 for sure, and maybe a 4th if you're short a touch, between the ones. So I agree with that 100%. So, all right. So we are gonna do one last mining run here. And I think I'll head back to Walla, and we'll go to Walla. We'll pick up what we can on Walla, and then we'll head over to, we'll do one more run at Latham and Bezdek. So kind of a big circle here. We'll kind of head over to Walla. I think it's 45 and 56 on Walla that we'll have to hit. And then we'll come back to Bezdek. We're just going to go for as much Laranite as we possibly can. So we'll go ahead and call, get this hangar open and get this thing in the sky. Ace Hambone says, it doesn't seem that the benefit of the exterior grids over, say, a Freelancer Max is worth the benefit of the enclosed protected cargo. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, I think that, as the game plays out, Ace, it'll be interesting to see how that works out, for sure. Drax says, the class example, here we go, we're going to make it Borg and everything. So, yeah, that's funny. Santa Claus says, a full Quantanium Freelancer Max, I believe, is around 3.1 million. I think it's around 1.2 million, right? A Freelancer Max is going to be 120 SCU. So I think that's around 1.2 million, Sandy. I could be wrong. I'm trying to remember exactly, but I think it is. It's in the neighborhood of 1.2. Andrea says, I feel good with up to 3 prospector loads. I refuse to fly anything more with one go, especially how often Article 1 is camped recently. Nothing wrong with that. And that's a very good point, and a really good point that Andreas is making. It's not always about how much it can carry, it's how much are you comfortable carrying. That can be a very, very interesting choice. I myself will tell you guys that I've settled in on the Connie Taurus. I don't think that comes as a surprise to anybody who watches my stream. The Connie Taurus to me is I wasn't sure what that was there for a minute. The Connie Taurus to me has 174 SCU. That's my breaking point. When it gets above that, I don't feel comfortable with flying. But I do like the Connie Taurus a little bit more than the Freelancer Max, only because it's a little bit more of a gunboat. You have 2 size 5, 2 size 4s, plenty of missiles, a little more durability. And so I use the Connie Taurus as my main hauler for my mining operation, but I used the Freelancer Max for months and just loved it. So would never speak ill on it. I love that ship. Andrea says, Colton Hill says, Shaq needs this ship with all the leg room. Yeah, there's tons of leg room in this one. You're right about that, Colton. That's awesome. Sometimes, you're reading stuff along and you just kind of, you realize what's coming out of your mouth at the time you kind of are reading it. It's one of those things. Chris Bates tricks me into sometimes, telling you guys to like and sub my channel, because I don't say it much, but I should. But he'll put it on there, and I'm like Anchorman. I'll just read it. So Dragon Master says, well, I'm off for tonight. Fun. Hope to catch you live soon again. Dragon Master, thank you for joining the stream tonight. Truly, I wish you the best. Hope you have a lovely evening. And thank you for stopping in. Sandy Claus, you're right about 1.1 million. Yeah, no problem, Sandy. Just one of those things. I know, I've taken an awful lot of pretty full Freelancer Maxes, so I knew it was right around that mark. Something along those lines. No big deal. Andy Davies says, having a C2 has another benefit at stations that are a bit risky. You can call it with a smaller ship right after the smaller ship will spawn in a protected hangar instead of a pad. Let me think about what you're saying there, Andy. Having a C2 has another benefit at stations that are a bit risky. You can call it then call a smaller ship right after it. The smaller ship will spawn in a protected hangar instead of a pad. Oh, that's kind of interesting. So if you're in a kind of a hot zone, what Andy's saying is you call the C2 and they're going to give you a hangar, but if you store that, if you then maybe not even store, maybe call another ship, they're going to actually stick the smaller ship inside the hangar. And whoa, that's kind of an interesting thing, Andy. That's a good tip. I kind of like what you're saying there. I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. Toe Cutter, how you been, Toe? Nice to see you. Connie has a better shield HP2. Yeah, the Connie's it is an upgraded ship from the Freelancer Max. There's nothing wrong with the Freelancer Max. It's a great ship, and really, probably a ship should be like, let's say you start out with a Connie Black and a Prospector, or a Prospector and a rented Connie Black. There's nothing wrong with doing 1-to-1s. You know, you're not going to lose a whole lot, obviously. That type of thing. Sometimes you might get a squeeze of 2 to 1 on there if you had a couple of low 20 loads. But you do feel like that first time you get to, say, you know, a 96 SCU or, you know, the Freelancer Max, that 122 SCU, it's a significant boost. It feels better to haul 4 to 1. You know, you really feel like, and then of course you're breaking that 1 million, that magic 1 million mark when you go to first time you go sell and you're like, man, I just made 1.1 million. That is fire. You know, you love that. So yeah, that's you know, something to consider for sure. So here we're coming back to Art Corp. We're going to swing around towards the wall. Ooh, I'm being interdicted, you guys. This ought to be fun.
Quantum travel. Cancel. Contact.
So it looks like this is just NPC stuff. I'm not going to worry about it. Just going to crank it back up to maximum speed, and I'm going to punch out of here. Oh, we got a radar lock on. I don't think they're interdicting me, though.
Quantum travel. Engage.
So they did fire a missile, but I was able to punch out of there before they got me. So easy peasy. No sweat. Just kind of, you know, get out of there before the fireworks started. So don't store the C2. Haul the small ship right after. That's what I thought you were saying, Andy. That really makes a lot of sense to me. And it was something I didn't even know was a thing. So that's a really cool tip. Love it. And those are the types of tips that I absolutely love to see the channel. Why is it saying Good Times Temple there? Really? I didn't mean to go to the Good Times Temple. How about just Walla proper? All right, we'll go there. I mean, the Good Times Temple sounds like, you know, maybe a decent place to worship. You know, I've never been there. I don't know. Rinsler says, I like the MSR for running my loads to the market. 114 SCU. You know what, Rinsler, that's a very good ship too. That 114 SCU, that's a fast ship. It's not a ship where, you know, when you see an MSR, you know, obviously if you see a Freelancer Max, you know it's pretty much a dedicated cargo ship. You definitely can, you know, as a pirate, I would certainly address a Freelancer Max much different than an MSR. And so it's a very good point. There's nothing wrong with the MSR. The MSR is a terribly good ship. It's got a lot of upside to it. And there's nothing wrong with having that be your hauling ship. That's a great ship. Absolutely. Drax says, so the big ship's called the, so call the big ship, then call the little ship. And then it automatically will put the big ship back in the storage is basically what's being said there, Drac, which is kind of cool. I never knew that. I mean, so there's 45. We'll hit 45 first. And then I think the other one is 51. But we'll hit 45 first over here and see how much Laranite we can get on board. And then we're going to hit a couple of different spots. So we're going to hit here. We're going to hit the other 51. And then we're going to head back and hit Bezdek and Latham one more time and see if we can't get a decent amount of Laranite on board, you guys. That's awesome. So yeah, you know, coolness. That's what Jack says. Nice. So yeah, this is a lot of fun. You know, I don't do a whole lot of cargo trading, and of course, as you can tell, I'm not necessarily the greatest M2 pilot ever, but yeah, I think I'm enjoying it, and we've made a few bucks tonight for sure. I think I at least made a couple 100,000 so far, so I'm not going to complain about that. Of course, you know, we normally easily make that mining, but you know, it's you know, you don't get the immediate turnaround, that's for sure. So. Alright, we're kind of cruising in here pretty fast. I'm going to go ahead and start taking the edge off here. I definitely was coming in hot. For sure. Alright, we'll drop the gear, VTOL a little bit, and you can see right down here is where our base is at. We'll start heading in.
Landing gear down.
Sandy Claus says, I think you can call it the 3 or 4 ships without... I think it's 3. Sandy, yeah, you can definitely call multiple ships without storing. Bane Epi says, well, but you have to get them off the pad first, though. So there is a little bit of rules to it or whatever. Awesome. We're kind of coming in. Bane Epi says, how much have you made tonight hauling? Sorry, I'm late to the stream. Had to work late. Bane, I probably made a couple 100,000. I mean, nothing to sneeze at. I know I was in the I know I was in 17.7s, and now I'm in 17.9s. So yeah, I'm not complaining at all. This is not bad at all. All right, we're just kind of. We can kind of. I wonder how. If we can land it on the pad this way. I'm just kind of curious. I don't know. I'm gonna at least look at it. I bet you can. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm just. It's a curiosity of mine. I'm just kind of curious about how am I doing right there? Hey, that's no problem. Yeah, you can land that way, easy peasy. Who knew? I guess I've never tried that before. That's awesome. So yeah, kind of nice because you don't have to kind of squeeze the fat part of the back end of the ship on the. Yeah, I like that. I dig it. So we're going to run in here, see if we can't grab a little bit of laranite, and then we'll head over and grab, to the next place, grab a little laranite, head back to Bezdek, grab a little laranite, Latham, grab a little laranite, and we'll top off with some titanium. So another cargo run. So got 3 more stops after this one if we're successful. Drek says, when can I get my upgrades to let me start SC? Safe bet. I'll be doing trade stuff. I really like trading. I do. I do know that it's not as consistent with the money. And certainly there are some really, really, really good folks who do a lot of trading and are much better about it than I am, for sure. Nose gear really needs to be forward more. You're right about that. Toe, I definitely need to be putting that first part of the gear down. It's a little bit different it's a little opposite of how I normally land, right? You normally put the back skids down, but you really need to put that front skid down. It's hard for me to get used to. But it is something that, as I do fly it a little more, I should try and get used to. I 100% agree, Toe. It's one of those things where I definitely need to keep on practicing and getting a little better with it. Oh, I'm going to be doing buying, not selling. So used to selling, you guys. Laranite, what do we got? 76 SCU. I'm not going to complain about that. That's a good start. So we'll start with that. 70. Okay. Well, what's the problem here, y'all? Oh, 39 SCU. Oh, I wonder if somebody bought that on another server at the moment I was doing it. What the heck? That's hilarious. Ace Hambone says, I don't think the Expanse will fit into the hangar of any ship from the Polaris down. Yeah, well, it will be interesting to see. It's a very tall ship. I agree. I don't know that it will fit in a whole lot of other ships. KSS says, hello, young man. Been a while. How's it go? Hey, KSS, how are you? It has been a moment. Doing great. Just doing it because 3.17's kind of, who could drop. I wasn't going to load up on a bunch of mining jobs, so I thought I would just do a little cargo trading tonight. It's going great. I'm really enjoying it. How have you been? Nice to see you. Bainab says, how do you know you're buying at the low price and finding at a high price? Well, you definitely can go with, like we talked about with Galog or SE Trade Tools. Earlier in the stream, I think Brianna mentioned several of the. There are some sites that you can look at. Of course, there's also Jack Axton does the trade report. I happen to know this is a pretty well-worn path getting Laranite. You happen to know if you buy Laranite at these particular places. And on Bezdek and Lathan, then when you go and you sell it at a TDD, you're gonna get, you're gonna make pretty good money. So I just happen to know this Laranite run, that's for sure. But yeah, that's probably the best way to say it, Bane. It's just the market's not always the same. They do fluctuate. It goes up and down. There are definitely times when you make less money, and many times there's not enough. Usually when you do a lot of trading, there's not, the real issue is there's not enough commodities to buy. You have to kind of fly around to several places to pick stuff up in order to get a nice load of it or something. So, those are some of the drawbacks of it, but it is fun. I enjoy doing it, and certainly you know, it's also really fun to be able to kind of chat with you guys as we fly around and have a little fun too. So yeah, so we're looking for a OM marker. That's probably going to be one right up there. And yeah, we'll fly to this thing. Now I am trying to remember. I think it's 50. I can't remember which 50 station it is. Sandy, do you remember which 50 station I want to fly to? It seems like it's 50. I know I already did it tonight too. That's what's funny. So there's 45. That's the one we already hit. I think it's 56, you guys. I do. I think it's 56 is the one. And I think I'll just go hit. I think it is 56 is the other one we want to hit. Let me, yeah, we'll just go there. I think it is 56. Yeah, thank you, Sandy. I thought it was 56.
Quantum travel engaged.
And so, yep, you hit 45, you hit 56 here, then you hit Latham and Bezdek. You're looking for Laernite as much as you can squeeze on board. And then, yeah, on Walla, it's Artcorp Mining Area 045 and 056. Those are the places where you're going to get Laernite. And then on Ariel, outside of Hurston, you know, it's Bezdek and Latham. And I just happen to know that, so...
Complete.
Kind of a pretty well-known, no secret on that path. Pretty well-known. Brianna Joyce says it's going to be crazy if and when they tie Quanta into trading. The lack of commodities can be tough. Oh, hey, I got a radar lock, you guys. This isn't great. Know that I necessarily see anybody. A missile warning. I don't know. I don't see anybody on my radar. Hey, Sambo says, as always, a pleasure. We'll see you in the future. Ace, have a great night, man. Thank you for joining. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm being silly. I might be being silly here. I don't know, you guys. Might be being naive. We'll go have some fun either way. We're having a little bit of trading fun. All right, we'll kind of take her down here to this. Oh, there is somebody down here. Oh, it is a Cutlass Black too. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Judgment being the better part of valor, we will just punch out. Not sure if we need to or not, but you know what? With a little bit of commodities on board, you know, nothing that you want to get caught monkeying around with. So off we go. We'll go ahead and hit. We'll head over to Latham and Bezdek and see what we can pick up there.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel.
So out we go. As quick as we went in. And back towards Hurston we head. So yeah, on a trading run, sometimes, you know, you just get a feeling or whatever. You just, I don't know. It's never a bad idea to just kind of, you know, I'm in no position to fight, you know, so, especially in an M2, so. Geesley says, I think it's left over from the last guy I had that happen to me today. Oh, interesting. Brianna, I agree 100%. I can't wait till they tie Quanta into trading. So Brianna says it's going to be crazy if they tie Quanta into trading. The lack of commodities can be tough. I agree. The lack of commodities is tough. And so I really want there to be these, you know, where you can actually, I really do believe that it's going to be great when you can pick up different things. There are kind of some dry areas, some things get, you know, scarce. There's some scarcity. I agree 100% with that. Geesley says, yeah, Rinsler says trading is loading up and repeating the no 30K prayer, but yeah, but the one thing, Rinsler, is there is, you know, and I knock on wood here, there is the 30K protection. It doesn't always work, but it does work a lot. So that's, that has been, a benefit to trading, although trading is not necessarily easy. Just because of what we were talking about before. Andy Davis says it's a good time to put full power to the shields. Oh yeah. It would have been a good time for me to do that. I definitely kind of played it you know, I kind of looked and decided that judgment was the better part of valor and off. Colton says the standoff begins. Boo! Oh, Colton, you gotta run, man. I'm a traitor. You know, I'm not in any position to fight. Why fight if you don't have to? Odd place for a cutty. I agree, Brianna. Odd place for a cutty. Decided to just kind of bug out. Yep, your lock alarm is still lit. Big bug. Yeah, it's definitely a thing. And the thing is, I probably could kill the power and turn it back on, and it would still be on there. So I'm not going to mess with that easily. Colton Hill says I had a 300i land almost on top of me earlier today. not the ship that you want. Yeah, 300i's are sweet though. By the way, I like the 300 series, especially the 315P with the tractor beam. As you guys know, being the miner that I am, of course, I always think about the tractor beam side of things than the 315P. Would absolutely be out of that particular series of ships. That's the one that I like. Should come as no surprise to most of you. So, you know, Chris Bates is around. He'd tell me to tell you to like and sub, and hit that notification bell if you like any kind of Star Citizen content, specifically mining. We normally Quantanium mine. Please do like and sub. You know, we always would love having more people on board on the channel, and we're trying to grow the channel and enjoying. And lots of times we just mostly do Quantanium mining. So hope there isn't a stair set up in the obvious routes from 056. That's a good point, Andy. I mean, who knows? You know, I just kind of thought, well, let's just get out of there. And you know, there's probably going to be no surprise to them if I'm flying around to them too, where I might be headed. So. But that being said, we're out here just kind of cruising around having a little fun, and if something were to happen, I wouldn't sweat it too much, you know.
Quantum travel engaged.
Honestly. I was interdicted on the way back, but it was NPC interdiction, so we'll hit Lathan first. Or, well, I suppose it doesn't necessarily. Yeah, there's Lathan right there. We'll hit that one first. And we'll go see if we can't get a little bit of Laranite there. Well, there probably won't be a ton of Laranite there because we were there not terribly long ago, but we'll grab whatever we can for sure.
Engage.
Beautiful night to be doing a little trading. Really hoping that they do drop a new patch for 3.17 tomorrow. Would love to do some more mining gadget testing. And really am very interested in. I hope they get the ROC extraction bug fixed. I know that that's not fixed as of now. They still talk about how, it kind of pulls in too many and throws them. I really hope they do get that fixed. That's one of the. I'd really like that particular game loop to get fixed. I know it's not as profitable as prospector mining, but I really love rock mining. It's so much fun. Santa Claus says Bezdek sells Laranite at the highest point. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. So we're cruising into Lathan first, and we're going to see what we can find as far as that goes. And then we'll head to Bezdek after that, and we'll top off with whatever we can top off with. So I will just try and get Laranite here. I'll try and get Laranite at Bezdek, and then we'll just try and see what's left to top off with after that. So we're cruising at about 315. We're not doing a super fast clip here. We're just kind of cruising in and taking it easy. Dropping the gear. There we go. Beautiful. Absolutely love this game. You just can't get better than this, you guys. It's so fun. Chris Bates says, sorry, was talking to my girlfriend and in the Army and just catching up. I try to remind every 15 minutes. You do an awesome job, Chris. You really do. You're doing a fantastic job. So no problem, man. Glad to hear that you're chatting with your gal, and it's wonderful stuff. All right, so we're I'm gonna bring this guy. I like kind of landing on the pad this way. It's kind of fun. Oh, darn it. I still put that front darn gear down. I want to do better. No big deal. We'll take it. We'll actually top off while we're here. No reason not to. That's awesome. Need a Death Star ship, Colton says. Yeah, you're right. Brinzer says, I bought the 315P and have thoroughly enjoyed it. Small, fast, agile, can quantum to any point in the system. 12 SCU cargo is a bonus as well. Yeah, one of the things about that ship in particular is it is a really good, you know, if you happen to get into the not so illegal commodities, it's a really sneaky good ship in that capacity as well. That 12 SCU is kind of a nice amount of SCU. It's a good ship. I love the 315P. I'm really looking forward to the tractor beam, though. I'll tell you that much for sure. Brandon says, SE is an amazing game. It'll be interesting to see how fast the progress goes once Squadron 42 gets out of the way. I agree. Obviously, the things that come into the PU are supposed to come in more polished because of Squadron Brianna. I think you probably are well, knowing what how knowledgeable you are, you're probably aware of that. But that's an absolutely excellent point. They're really going to hammer down on Squadron 42. It looks like they're going to try and get that out of the way. And then, of course, I really hope that they get back to the PU. And yeah, it's an excellent point you're making. So I'm really kind of looking around here. I think that's it over there. Awesome. Geesley says, SE is my emotional antidote to Tarkov. I haven't played Tarkov yet, Geesley. I really need to play that one for sure. I think a lot of people who play this game play Tarkov, and I have not played Tarkov. But yeah, I definitely am interested in playing it for sure, checking it out, and I really just can't. I don't know. I really am so hung up on this game. I just love it to death. It's one of those things. I really just enjoy it. It really is. I'm really a one-track Sally right now with this thing, for sure. Oh, why am I buying it? I mean, why am I selling? All right, so we're going to buy Laranite. Hey, 53 SCU, we'll take it. So I think we've gotten a little about... Well, I'm just kind of curious if I were to get... So Titanium, I could do 432. So yeah, I have around almost 100 SCU. We'll shoot over to Bezdek and see how much more we can get on board. And then we will top off with the rest of the titanium. Beautiful. Drax says, before you start griefing your girl about silly mistakes she's made, remember that you're... fair enough. Brianna Joy says, I'd love to see the numbers of how many people backed SC versus Squadron 42. Here's the... guys and gals, here's one of the dirty little secrets I'll tell you about me. I honestly could... So Squadron 42... Now, when it comes out, I may love it, but I could actually, like I'm definitely a kind of a sandbox PU kind of person. I don't really, Squadron 42 is not definitely something that I really can honestly say that, like I really am super excited about. Look at that, look at this thing. He's just jumping around. I'm not excited about it, but I definitely would, if I was Chris Roberts, I would be looking to solve the PU first, but I'm not. So heck, let them. I think nothing wrong with doing the single player game. I don't mind it or anything, but I definitely I definitely am much more of the PU kind of player myself. Let's see. Drax says, you mean a one-trick pony? Yes, I definitely am. Fair enough, Drac. That's exactly right. One-trick pony. I'll take that. That's exactly right. Cool. Neil says, you never know how big a ship is until you get out of it. Oh, I know. This. There are a couple of ships in Star Citizen. I remember the first time I seen the Reclaimer was at IA, the event that they happened to have it in November, and I was like, this thing is enormous. And also the Starfarer Gemini, the first time I seen that, I was like, this thing's crazy. Geesley says, I'm with you on Squadron 42. Give me a sandbox. Yeah, I think, it's no knock. I mean, I'm not, saying that I'm right or whatever, but I definitely am more of the sandbox part of it is definitely more of my wheelhouse for sure. That being said, maybe Squadron 42 will come out, and I love it. I played all the Wing Commander games. I loved them. I loved the Wing Commander games. All of them. I played all of them. And really enjoyed them. Alright, so we'll look down here and we'll look at Bezdek and there's Bezdek, and we'll head over that way now. KSS says, I actually think that CIG are planning a big end of the year, beginning of next. I reckon Squadron 42 server meshing Pyro and Nyx. What do you think they're planning for, barring catastrophes, of course? Well, I will tell you, KSS, it's a great question. I really am watching to see how the cargo refactor goes. Because if that gets pushed back, then I think that, yeah, I think that whole... I do think, though, if cargo refactor does make it in some capacity... Rinsler, that's absolutely correct. The next ship sails in May. It's I forget the name of the event. It's the military fly event, though. But yeah, I think if for some reason that the cargo refactor is not pushed back, then I'm still not 100% sure about Pyro this year. But I think that we'll definitely, by the end of the year, get an announcement on when Squadron 42 will be released, another one, but this time they'll mean it. And if I were to guess, my gut tells me that Pyro may be first quarter next year. But I hope I'm wrong. I would love Pyro at the end of the year this year. I would love, love, love it. But we'll see. I do think they're really putting in the ship, obviously with the refueling ships. Invictus, that's what it's called. Thank you very much, Andreas. No, I'm not very savvy with all the trade tools or the Invictus or IAE or any of those things. I'm not real savvy to not naming those things, even though I've been to them so many times. So yeah, I think it's that's when it is, Rinsler, though. It's Invictus week, so fun, super fun, more combat orientated stuff for that, but nothing wrong with that for sure. Alright, so we're coming into Bezdek, you guys. Just kind of keeping an eye on things. I'll drop the gear and put the VTOL out. Yeah, we're still about 6,000 out or so, 5,800. KS says if you look at what they're working on with Raster, Derelict gameplay, salvage, finally the expanse, they rushed the expanse, didn't announce it straight to Flyable. They're panning for. That's my end of this year. Well, you know what? I hope you're right. My gut feeling says first of next year, but I really do hope you're right, KSS. I would love that. I think it would be so good for Star Citizen to have that. And I really am looking forward to the whole hiding your fleet and in a spot in space and having it. Oh man, Pyro's going to be fun. That's when the game's really going to be kind of obviously barring any crazy game breaking mechanics, which is always barring that, right? I definitely am super excited about Pyro. Just the whole idea of just how just dangerous of a place it is, not just from a pirating standpoint, but just from the atmospherics of it. They were talking about how there's going to be sunbursts and things of that nature. Hey, not too bad of a landing there. All right, we'll just kind of grab stuff here. All right. And we will head in and see what we got. Andrea says Pyro would be great. More space, less likelihood to get ganked. Yeah. Well, and of course some bottlenecks, so we'll have to see how they handle the one jump gate type thing. It'll be interesting to see if there's more than one jump gate to kind of it definitely will be interesting. It would be cool if there was some kind of a gameplay where you could discover kind of jump gates and that were maybe temporary wormholes that are only open for a few hours, so you could find your way into the system without necessarily having to always go to the same spot. But we'll have to see about all that stuff. That's just kind of me pontificating. Chris has got to run, peeps. You know what, Chris? Thank you for joining, sir. Have a lovely night. I hope you're doing well. And, I'm always thinking about you, my friend. Take care of yourself. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and head on over here and see if we can't find a little more Laranite to throw on board and then top it off with some titanium and call it good. So, in we go. Beautiful evening. Like I said, I do hope that 317 patch drops tomorrow and we can get into the PTU and do get back to what we normally do, but I have enjoyed this little bit of different gameplay tonight. This has been great. Laranite, come on. Lots of it. 115 SCU. Oh, 2 SCU. No! I thought there was going to be more there. No problem. We'll take, I think we'll do the titanium at 7.34. And we'll fill up on that, and no problem. We'll call it good, and we will head on over back to Lorville, and we will sell this. All right. Brianna Joy says, I agree there needs to be more clarification on the exploration role. I think that would be great gameplay loop to go hunting for backdoors in other systems, perhaps for smuggling. Absolutely. For that, and even if you're just, maybe can sneak through, like, maybe there's a heavily blockaded, jump point, and you can kind of sneak through, like a cargo runs, like, oh my gosh, you guys, we found a jump point that will get us to this spot really quickly. And it's like, maybe you understand from doing some scanning on it that it's got like a 2-hour window before it collapses, but you'll wind up in just kind of an odd place in the system. Oh my gosh, that stuff would be so awesome, Brianna, for sure. Rinsler says, I'm hoping to see some of the exploration gameplay when Pyro hits. Really looking forward to that. Already purchased the Corsair. The Corsair is going to be cool ship, the Corsair, for sure. I like Drake stuff myself. And the Corsairs, it'll be interesting to see. I hope that they do something with those weird turrets on the side of the Corsair. Probably something the info runners, they certainly speak to that a lot. But I kind of feel the same way after looking at them. Other than that, I think the Corsair is a great ship. I do hope that they do kind of have some flexibility where they can kind of point forward, but we'll have to see about that, and there's no guarantees in it. So up we go. And I bet you that's not what I'm looking for there. No, that's going to be Magda. We'll go ahead and crank this guy up. We'll head back to Hurston. Set that route right there. OM1, if you please. We'll go ahead and hit that. Brianna Joy says, heck yeah, so the Navy has a checkpoint. Nine-tail Xenothreat invasions could disable or contest the jump points? Absolutely. I just love that idea. I think that would be, talk about emerging gameplay for sure. Absolutely emerging gameplay. Not only that, some of the, exploration mechanics kind of leading to being able to find some, different clusters or blooms or resources. Man, just all that stuff is great. So we're headed towards Hurston now. We're going to head back to land down at Lorville. We are very happy with the runs that we've made here so far, for sure. We'll take this guy down to Lorville and get this sold.
Quantum travel engaged.
Oh, I'm really looking for. Yeah, honestly, I am really looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to kind of having like a remote kind of hidden org-only base with just like your refueling ships, your refining ships, your repair ships, that type of thing. That's going to be awesome.
Quantum travel complete.
All right, so in we go. Going to be a night landing here. This will be kind of fun. Haven't done one of these yet. In this ship. Sandy Claus says trading loop would be a lot better once they fix the ship radio. Yeah, you know what, Sandy? I hear what you're saying. Sandy is going to be doing a radio stream and is working on it now, and absolutely SC radio is going to be fantastic. Can't wait for Sandy to get that all worked out. And then, I'll be promoting that for sure on this channel, so you guys should check that out. Brianna says, I remember back when AQ40 was opening and the entire server had to work together to reopen. Oh, Brianna, I know what you're talking about. That kind of stuff, that kind of people working together interaction stuff, that's fantastic. What happens if, like, there's a system that's been detected, but everybody has to work together to set up the jump point? To build, like you have to move a massive amount of resources to like a spot in order to build the jump point and maybe have a couple pioneers there to build it. Oh my stars, or something like that. What a cool thing. And then when everybody gets it done, everybody gets able to fly through over there Well, that would be, that kind of thing would be awesome. Bane Uppy says 10 years ago they were talking about having many systems and planets and moons and belts you have to find that you could build a base. Oh yeah, there's going to be base building for sure. That's going to be super fun. You know, and then Sandy says, so the Herald finally matters. Exactly, the Herald finally matters. All right, we're kind of need to kind of get in here and get a visual going. Drop the gear, drop the VTOLs. We're coming a little light. I do see... Oh, yeah, you can see... Oh, that was kind of cool how it was kind of lit up there. We'll kind of scooch this guy over. And this thing flies nice in Atmo. Down we go. And then Sandy says, isn't Nyx the next system after Pyro? That's what they said, for sure. Nyx is the next system after Pyro, for sure. That's what they've said, for sure. Alright, cool. I definitely know I need to move forward quite a bit. Good landing, you guys. Nicely done. Rinsler says, have you started or contemplating starting an org? I can't play as much as I'd like, but I'd love to join. Yeah, in the description below, Rins, we do have an org. You know, and you're welcome to, you know, you're absolutely welcome to check us out. SpectreFleet.space. Really good organization. Great group of guys. Of course, I'm biased, but, you know, really, really good, solid group. I've been with them for, you know, 9 months now. Have, you know, done tons and tons and tons of missions with them. Great guys all around and super fun stuff. Andreas says almost 4 a.m. my refining jobs are finished. Wow, Andreas, you're working hard over there, man. You know, and it's good. It's a good idea to finish them up. You know, I mean, it definitely is one of those things where I'm a little bit, you know, leery about kind of starting some new refining jobs. Is why I found myself kind of trading tonight. Rihanna says, when do you think they will bring in their first lawful system? Do you think it will be after Nyx? I think it will be after Nyx. You know, a completely lawful system. You know, I don't know, but here's the thing, Brianna, I will say honestly, I don't know what they've talked about outside of, you know, Nyx and Pyro. So I don't really, I bet you know, probably the place to ask that question would definitely be, maybe Astropub. He probably maybe knows. And I bet you they do know kind of on the inside a little bit. But I bet you there's some lore perspective. I don't think that Soul or, you know, is going to be... But it will be interesting. You know, and it will be kind of interesting when they're, you know, like how aggressive the security forces are in those law-abiding places. For sure. That's a great question. When is the first lawful system going to be in there? Because certainly Stanton, I wouldn't necessarily say... I mean, it's very corporate, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily lawful. I'm sure, you know, ArtCorp and Hurston, they just kind of do... You know, they kind of do what they want, you know, in these systems because they own them. Lawful or not. All right, so we're going to go ahead and store this ship and go do a sail, and for sure here. Oh, look at all the NPCs running around. It's a party. Alrighty, we'll go ahead and store this ship here. And she went to retrieve, and that's what we're looking for. Drax says, still say they need to buy out or merge with Elite Dangerous, because most of the other stuff I've seen needs really already exists in ED. You know, I don't... You know, you love that idea, Drac. I know you do, and I understand why you would. I think that it's an interesting thought for sure that there would be some assets or some, you know, at the very least some development power or something along those lines. And you definitely, oh man, I mean, you know, I backed both games. I like both games for sure. I've definitely, you know, Star Citizen put its hooks into me a little bit different than Elite Dangerous did, but Elite. I'm sure you've heard me say the 1988 version of Elite with the Brabants Elite on the Commodore 64. is my all-time favorite game of all time. I love that game. Loved Elite. Loved it. Right on, Commander. You know, I just love that game. Andrea says, I'd be happy if criminality weren't able to leave... the criminals weren't able to leave pleasure after only a few minutes. Over crime stats 2 or 3, they should be forced to spend at least 50% of their sentence in a cell. Interesting, you know, the other side of it, Andreas, I do think, and they can't necessarily do it in Stanton now, but I bet you, you know, the reputation system, it'll be a lot harder to get fuel and some of those other things without necessarily, without necessarily a Starfarer. So refuel, rearm, repair is not necessarily going to be easy if you have, you know, once your reputation starts going south. So they definitely have some ways to curb that stuff. I think reputation's I think reputation should spin out of everything. Like, for instance, you're doing your box missions, but then eventually you work your way up to cargo missions. And when I say cargo missions, I don't mean trading. I don't mean you put in money. I mean, you can earn a reputation with, like, a company where they just load your ship up and you're just a free, you know, you're kind of almost like a Amazon Prime driver type of thing, you know, where, you know, you're just kind of pick up the stuff and haul it, you know. I really hope with 3.18 with the cargo refactor, that's something that they absolutely do, is have some kind of a reputation system where you can do hauling missions. And like I said, trading's different than hauling. Trading, you put your money in, and you risk your money, you know. I'm talking about hauling missions where, you know, like this, you know, whatever reputable organization, they let you haul like 20 SCU, and then they, you know, 25 SCU, 30 SCU, and you work your way up to bigger and bigger contracts. I mean, that would be just, so cool. So, yeah, just kind of keeping an eye on the chat here. So, yeah, this has been a super duper fun stream today. I have really enjoyed it. The trading is not something... We almost exclusively always do Quantanium mining. With 3.17 kind of in flux, and without there being a PTU patch today, I kind of was like... I didn't really feel like doing some mining today. Yeah, proper reputation, exactly, Brandon, will be great. So I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me today and doing some cargo trading. You know, one of the... Obviously, anybody who watches Star Citizen content knows, like, Jack Axton is just one of the... You know, I watch his videos. He does a lot of trading. He's, really, really, really sharp at it. You know, I kind of, gummed my way through today and really enjoyed it. But the most important thing is when I do a stream, how much I enjoy talking to all of you. It is, I mean, truly what makes sets it apart. X-Cross, how you doing tonight? X, nice to see you. Salute back right at you. Andrea says, I mean more criminals in general. Let's say something is camping a station and shoots a player, gets killed, lands in prison, and is back in 10 minutes. So, yeah, you know what? Some of that, Andreas, is the fact that they already have those merits on hand, so they buy their way out. So, yeah, I understand what you mean. I mean, that there'd be more penalty, like, for people that are just kind of teeing off on people. I understand what you're saying, and I don't necessarily disagree. Baynep says, what worries me about this game is I like the PvP, but I hate gankers who sit and wait and blow up your shit before you even leave the pads. Yeah, pad rammers are not cool at all. You know, and I definitely, I 100% agree with what you're saying, and they're not cool at all. All right, so we're going to sell this Laranite, this 91 SCU Laranite. And we got some titanium here, 380,000. We're going to break 18, I wonder. Yeah, we did. We broke 18 at 1880. A little over 18 million. Not too shabby dabba-doo. And so, yeah, you know what? I just, I really wanted to say how much I enjoyed tonight. I truly wish you all a lovely evening. I am going to go ahead and sign off here. I will say, SpectreFleet.space is a link in the description. Hey, look at that. That NPC messed up my camera view, man. That's hilarious. Also, we do have a great $1 app. It's called QuantCalc, and it's a very cool tool that teaches, very quickly, you put in a mass, put in a percentage. It will show you exactly how much Quantanium is in a rock. Look at this. These guys are messing up my camera view. That's awesome. And so, yeah, I just want to say, everybody, have a lovely night. Thank you for joining me. I truly wish you the best. I hope that you come back out. Please like and sub. And I will, tomorrow night I hope to be doing some 3.17 PTU stuff if they put out a patch tomorrow. So thank you so much for joining us. X-Cross, sorry I was kind of caught you late here. Everybody have a lovely night, and I will see you all around the verse.